So who out there is up for an updated 19-course feast to wrap up our years? No, not you. That's fine, as I've got a ton of starving survivors on hand, ready for their favorite meals and then some. And the best part, 3 of them are brand new to the table to boot. So from tantalizing treats to mighty meals, let us revisit the favorite foods mechanic, everyone. And I don't mean just for those fresh faces either, as we've got better cooking tips in general too. Thing is, however, there's actually a surprising number of non-crockpot foods to be had here today, like plain old bananas. Wonky is technically a separate character from the rest, even if they are just us, if you know what I mean, but they do get a favorite food regardless. It's fun stuff, and as you can see, survivors who munch down their best gain 15 more hunger over the rest. And that's a trend that for the most part is gonna apply to everyone and every food here today, like Wanda's taffy, for example. But while survivors will forego the negative effects of their favorite foods, sadly, they still cannot and will not gain more sanity with them, which was something that never made the most sense to me. Still, having a dish like taffy, a food that is very easily whipped up with the ever-abundant honey mind, shoot from 25 hunger to 40 overall a bite, is still very noteworthy. So come away. But another reason for returning to an arguably worthless topic, due to just how stationary the mechanic actually is overall, if you know what I mean, is that other processes around do change and have had an honest-to-goodness impact on some of the dishes in this category, namely trail mix here. A very recent quality of life release actually buffed birch nuts, allowing raw variants to now be used in crockpots, which in turn has turned an already simple and very efficient recipe into a must almost. Walter Mains rejoice for sure, but others should be making note of this for sure. To continue though, Wirt kicks off a triple play of favorite foods that have absolutely nothing to do with the crockpot, with durians. But hold up, Beard. 25 plus 15 does not equal 48.3 last I checked, so what gives? Ah yes, not only are durians her favorite food, Wirt also gains more hunger from fruits and veggies anyways, making durians an absolute superfood for her specifically. But seriously, these things are way better than you think overall, and their potential goes well beyond any of this nonsense today, so I do implore you to give them one last look. But speaking of foods that have gotten a lot of love since the last we sat down at the dinner table, Wormwood's obsession with purely cooked bananas specifically is really limiting their potassium possibilities. Rhymes aside, the guy adores cooked nanners, and bananas are now easier to mass produce than ever before, and that's going to be aiding several of our survivors' stomachs here today, actually, so you should probably learn about the unnatural portal. And finally, at least for now, it's time to eat of the forbidden fruit as Wirt talks once again. But hold up once again, Beard. I don't actually see 15 additional hunger for either of these pomegranates. Well, that's because Wartox only gains half the hunger value of the food he eats, and for some reason, that also still applies to his favorite foods, which is also something I don't understand. But oh well, did you notice that he also likes both cooked and raw pomegranates actually? Yeah, that happens sometimes, and then there's other times where survivors don't even acknowledge the other version of a food that they absolutely adore, which is a whole bloody thing. But then again, I guess I should mention that Wally here doesn't even have a frickin' favorite food to begin with, so there you go. And oh yeah, then there are those favorite foods that even I forget are even in this dang game to begin with, like vegetable stinger here, requiring either a toma root or asparagus, 2 vegetables that are honestly pretty amazing even by themselves, plus a bit of some other crap as seen here. The chili drink isn't all that bad itself, to be fair. Especially when you realize how Wanda can slurp down 40 hunger per. It's pretty sweet if you happen to remember it's there. However, true sweet tooths won't be looking much further beyond Weber's ice cream at the end of the day. Back when we first introduced the favorite foods mechanic, Weber players were kinda sort of deflated, just given how limited electric milk was a couple years ago. But now that the stuff can flow like an absolute river if you let it, ice cream is a very viable dessert option if I do say so myself. yourself. That is a lot of hunger and sanity in one scoop. But if we're truly talking big hunger gains from foods, it's going to be difficult to beat Wigfred's love for turkey dinners. Gobbler farms are some of the easiest things to set up and even expand upon in this entire game, therefore churning out 90 hunger dishes that also just so happen to heal for a respectable 20 health mind will be very, very easy, especially if you know how to cheat the system. Enjoy. Wobster dinners are also quite of note in the hunger regard, if not even more so due to its additional stat regens, as you can see for yourself. But the problem with these things is butter. Wobsters themselves are abundant and super simple to catch, but butter can still only drop via butterflies 2% of the time, which ain't great. It's a snobby dish for a snobby man. But from snobby to just plain sad, Wes's fresh fruit crepes. Crepes that the guy can not only not make for himself, as they are a Warley exclusive dish, but their 165 hunger restored is more than double his maximum, meaning eating one is a complete waste of everything you see here. And oh yeah, did I mention that the stuff costs even more butter for Pete's sake? To continue though, and to rapid fire through the remaining foods of course, the connections between Woody and I continue to form unintentionally, as I do love some honey mustard with my chicken nuggies. Wickerbottom continues to be a granny after my very own heart, as she loves munching on surf and turf, which is not only one of, if not the best crockpot dishes across all of Don't Starve history. It is also tied to fishing overall, which I do enjoy myself. WX78 continues their dominance over all living things by literally eating living things with every butter muffin tossed down their gullet on the cheap. Wendy will appreciate all them bananas around as well, so be prepared to have a ton of pretty amazing banana pops lying around to be licked as well. A big strong man loves big strong potatoes still, and I can't blame him, as potatoes are stupid OP in this game. But mind you, we're talking cooked potatoes here specifically. Willow turns up the heat as always with her rather obscure but still pretty simple to make spicy chili here. And finally, Wilson ends our day with a balanced breakfast of bacon and eggs, which also happen to be quite efficient nowadays. Not bad at all. And there you have everyone, the favorite foods mechanic updated and revisited to incorporate the new faces, help out a bit with the old, and make sure it's all done a lot faster than past beard, even with the new stuff. The menu has changed a lot over the years, without ever changing itself, if you know what I mean, so be sure to learn what you can elsewhere to come back a proper chef. But thanks for watching folks, well wishes to all, eat up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.